Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. How's everybody doing out there? Everybody ready for a big weekend? Looking like good weather here. We're on a roll of good weather, so I'm going to probably enjoy some outdoor time, some more watermelon juice. Had some good watermelon juice this morning, and yeah, just enjoy the weekend. Anyhow, today I want to talk about eat whenever you're hungry on a raw food diet and share some thoughts on weight. Just kind of a little rambling, thinking out loud video today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, why don't you go down there now and hit that subscribe button, then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Yeah, these are just some random thoughts I had last night, and I jotted them down, and I said, well, let's just share them. I didn't really have anything prepared for today, and I'm always trying to think of any little tip or trick or other way of coming at it that might help you a little bit. My thoughts have changed a little bit about this over the years, and I'll talk about it in a little bit. Eat whenever you're hungry on a raw food diet. In general, I've always thought that was a good suggestion. Not just, not emotional eating or whatever, just eating when you're hungry. And I just want to say one thing to start off with. And like I say, I can't say this super hard because I'm not an expert on this lifestyle. I don't think anybody's an expert on this lifestyle. But if you're not eating bad stuff, if you're eating the right food, if you're eating the right type of food, notice I'm putting some ifs in here. If you're eating correctly, eating the right type of food, and I'm not saying when I say that, don't jump immediately and think you have to be eating perfectly to do this. But if you're eating the right type of food, I don't see any reason you ever restrict yourself. And what I mean by restricting, I don't even just necessarily mean you're really restricting your calories, but you should literally, if you want to eat, eat. That's what this lifestyle is about, and that's why it has worked for me. I mean, like I say, sometimes I feel like I'm speaking Chinese and everybody else is speaking another language because it was just bam. It was almost like a lightning bolt hit me with some things, some truths, and just some things that were really cool about this lifestyle really early on. And the number one thing that I noticed from the very beginning and still can't really wrap my head around is I've never been able to eat all the food that I wanted to. I've never been able to maintain weight, lose weight without being hungry. Now, I'm not necessarily saying I starved myself. I was fairly reasonable with weight loss when I would do it in the past, even though I was eating animal products. I wouldn't just go from, way up here with my calories to starvation, but I had to watch it. And I don't like watching it. I like to eat when I'm hungry. I don't like to be hungry for 2 seconds. So if you really dial in on this lifestyle, and that's why I'm always trying to tell people, just if you've got to white knuckle it out with these cravings, listen to me, there is no magic pill, there is no method to magically get rid of craving. Stop putting the food in your mouth that you're craving. That's the only way. Nobody. You can watch videos for 8 hours a day for the next 10 years on YouTube, and nobody's going to come across that. Nobody's going to tell you that one. So, you've just got to figure some of these things out for yourself. But if you're hungry, and this has been my experience since day one, and there was took a while for this. Like I said, in the beginning, just backtrack a little bit. In the beginning, in fact, I was amazed. I thought I was eating enough food. I was never hungry in the beginning. I got emaciated. I got down to like 143 pounds, but I was never hungry. I just wasn't eating enough, which brings me to the next point with me talking about eating whenever you're hungry on a raw food diet. Yeah, give yourself that allowance because you're eating good food. I should never tell myself not to eat a mango, a banana, or whatever good stuff that I'm eating. So eat whenever. Now, for a lot of people, that would work. Just eating when you're hungry, going by your appetite. And I don't necessarily want to push you in the other direction and just say willy-nilly eat whatever, whenever, just because of emotional type stuff or just because you have a craving. But for me, what I'm getting at for me is kind of actually, I can't eat by my hunger. In other words, what I'm getting at, the way I eat, you guys are probably tired of hearing me saying this, but it's just something it's just like one of these things I've been working on and tweaking almost since the beginning, since I lost all that weight at the very beginning and was just way too skinny, way too emaciated. My problem is I've been working for the past 7-8 years just on adding weight, keeping on weight, adding weight, keeping on weight. And I can't just be, I'll eat when I'm hungry, especially this time of year. And that's something that's been different since I got back to the States. You know, down in Costa Rica, there weren't seasons. So I just kind of ate the same amount year round. But up here, since I've been here, I feel like I have different appetite different times of the year, and my body just responds to food differently. Everything just changes. It's still kind of a new thing for me. Especially once the weather gets warm, I definitely can't go by being hungry. Like today, for instance. Got up this morning, puttered around a little bit, had watermelon juice probably around 8 o'clock, 8:30. I had a 32-ounce jar. Then I had enough left over, not quite for 32-ounce jar, maybe 3/4 of the way full. Started the morning on that. Went down to the park for a little bit, did some work for a little bit, did a little bit of this, did a little bit of that. Before you know it, it's like I started getting lunch ready because I'm like, well, I don't really feel hungry, but you better start getting lunch ready. And I sat down to my lunch at like 11:30. But as I was sitting there, I was very cognizant of the fact that I could have easily, not having eaten any solid food, I could have easily gone probably till at least 1, 2 o'clock before I even felt a hunger pang. Wasn't like I was trying to see I'm not talking about seeing how long I could go. I'm talking about before I actually felt hunger, but I knew I needed to eat. So I made a monstrous salad, 2 sweet potatoes on there, heavier dressing. I just got it in. But yeah, no, this time of year I just start drinking the watermelon juice. My natural instinct is to eat later in the day, and I'm walking a lot, when the sun's out. I eat a little bit less, here and there. And just the main thing is I notice my appetite's less. I feel like the last couple or 3 weeks that eating is like a job. It's like an obligation each day. There's like days where I'm like, God dang, I'm really not all that hungry, but I gotta eat. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not starving, but I gotta eat. It's getting a little late. If you don't eat now, you won't be able to eat later and get in enough calories. So for me, I've got to pay attention to that, because for so many years, and that's the main reason I like to add my 2 sweet potatoes to my salad fairly often. It helps with those calories, because for too many years I just wasn't consistent with getting my calories in, and I did do everything willy-nilly, and I didn't really pay that much attention, and I never could get the weight up. I'd get up into the 155, 154, 155, and then I would go a few days, and I'd get distracted, or I'd be doing something, or I'd be kind of busy, and I'd miss a meal. Not miss a meal, but just like eat a little bit less here, tick, 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 tick. Before you know it, bam, I'm back down to 150. I popped it up to at one point about 170 this winter, just eating massive amounts of food over the winter when the appetite was better, but still eating clean. I wasn't like I was eating tons of nuts and stuff like that. Now my kind of I'll be happy. I'm just trying to stick to not getting below 165 this summer. Just eating enough, staying enough, keeping enough food in my body to not get below 165. But yeah, you should be able to, on this lifestyle, you should be able to eat it whenever you want to. I mean, what you see is what you get on this channel. Go watch any number of my What I Eat in a Day videos, whether I'm here in the States, whether I was in Costa Rica, whether I was visiting the States, whether I was living in the States, whether I was traveling in Costa Rica. Go see it. I just ate. I ate. And I eat a massive bowl. If you follow me on Instagram, you're probably tired of seeing my nice cream post. I have probably, not every day, but most days, at least 80% of days, I have the equivalent of 8 or 9 bananas worth of ice cream. Every day. That's breakfast most days. Boom, that's out of the way. That's like what? not anywhere from 800 to 1,000 calories right off the bat. Same with those smoothies. I got to get in these big chunks of calories, or I'll get way too skinny again. So it's a good problem to have, but you got to, like I was talking about in a recent video, you got to detox those taste buds. You just got to get out of whatever. Look, cravings, the bad food, whatever your trip up is, you just got to get rid of it. You just got to get it out of your mouth. Just, whatever you got to do. Get somebody to lock you in your room for a month or whatever. But when you're eating the right foods, and I'm not saying there's even like a perfect narrow way. There's a whole, you can do this lifestyle any number of ways, eating different things, eating differently than me. I eat differently than Melissa, we both eat differently than Chris Kendall. But we all focus on the nutrition, and when you're focusing on the nutrition and trying to take in as much nutrition with every bite of food as possible, there's no limits. There's no limits. So anyhow, whenever you're ready to come over to the other side where you can eat as much as you want all the time, it's a great place to be. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Peace.